Captain Lee and Carl have had a fallout. Captain Lee and Carl came together. Captain Lee, with his journey of sobriety, and like Carl, and like, but they have had a falling out. Now, this is over a podcast. Again, having had interactions with Carl, I can see this 100%. There's no question in my mind that Captain Lee is not exaggerating this. I think it happened just like this. You and I have had people on our podcast. I mean, Carl apparently went on his podcast, and Captain Lee is like, this was a friend. In no way was I trying to do him dirty, which you do get a little
True.
sprinkle
Oh,
when you come on here, when you're Luann or Ebony or Anakin Kosais, the people I'm truly friends with. I'm not coming for you, because that is just, look, we got to do the job, and I got to get the people what they want. I have to ask certain questions, but
of course.
it's
Yeah.
it's I'm not going to do you dirty the way I would do someone else dirty. That's going to basically, but the point is, you still got to get the goods, and you get enough. But he was like, we weren't coming for you, and this and that. And then, Carl called up like a diva and was like pissed off and thought we were using his name to get press. And we didn't even air the interview. Now, you know how I said, guys, I can't tell you. We could do a whole show of people that have told me not to air interviews, take things out. See, Sarah, this is why the answer is no. When you want something out, I will burn the bridge, because, I mean, not with like a friend, but I have burned so many bridges, because that's not how it works. Wednesday's show is all ready to go out. We're not pulling the
Yeah.
fucking show. So
And
apparently
honestly, I
Carl
really,
wanted it pulled and all this, and they have fallen out. Go on.
well, Captain Lee pulled it.
Ugh, I
He did
wouldn't
pull
have.
it. I think he should air it now. But yeah, I mean, Captain Lee strikes me as a man who has been through a lot, losing his son, recovery. He's obviously a good manager. He's been weathered the storm of being a reality star. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Carl seems to be getting that reputation. You're not the first person I've heard it from. Now, Captain
Diva.
Lee. And yeah, yeah.
Diva. Who
I
are you, man?
can't
Who are you?
deny
Like,
it.
where does this fucking divaness come from? Give me a fucking break. That's the shit that I hate. I mean, Sandoval, I really don't think that he is. Yeah, he's got the nail polish, and like he's with the band, which is really good, but he's not a diva. I do believe, yeah, he's paying for Sheena, and he's showing up for his friends. And uh, listen, this isn't the Tom Sandoval apologist hour, but and all the stuff that's going on now with like Billy Lee and Tom and all. I mean, it's
I know
convenient,
I got to get into that so we
and
can
it's
talk about it next
conveniently
episode.
happening when he's filming The Traitors. But you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think Tom is like a diva, like, oh, I won't do that. I think Tom is like a roll up your sleeves, and if there's like a camera held. Carl is a fucking diva, and I can see it. I don't need to be your best friend. I can spend a few minutes with you and have an interaction, and I got it all figured out. I do. That's what I'm good at. I think Carl is a fucking D-bag diva. Sorry, I'm being honest. So that's how I feel.
I don't think you're alone. I think Captain Lee has a pretty good reputation. I think that for him to say that and come out and say that the call was so out of left field in Captain Lee's opinion that they can no longer be friends. I mean, that's pretty.
And to your point, why aren't you airing it now? I mean, I would have told you to go fuck yourself. I would have been like, it's airing. You were on this podcast for 1.5 hours. And Captain Lee even says, and you and I have done this before. It was a softball interview if I ever saw one. I had Candy Spelling, the icon, on this
Oh,
podcast. There's not one question about Tori. Why do you think that is? I mean, I was also forbidden. That's why. Literally, we went back and forth. We fought. And they were like, you can either not interview. I see, I don't have a problem with that.
literally
If
that. Yeah.
you say ahead of time, you
Yeah.
cannot have, Candy will not show up. She will not do your podcast. She has not done a podcast in 10 years. Yeah, she pops by Jeff Lewis when his flag is there. But they're like, you're calling us. If you want her on, you cannot ask about Tori, because it will get picked up the wrong way, no matter what she says. So either I'm okay with that. You've laid it out. I have said yes and chosen to do this interview. And therefore I know not. I said, oh, I'm just going to say, what a great mother you are. No, you can't even mention Tori. Okay, well, I think that's weird. But anyway, that's different to me than you do it. And then afterwards you want shit taken out. No way. Nothing's coming out. You should have thought of this before.
Yeah, and I think when you know you're famous and reality famous and D-list famous, you know all your triggers, those are the things that people are going to ask.
Yeah.
So are you prepared to deflect, which some people, Andy Cohen is genius at it.
Oh,
He answers
God.
every question. He answers every question, but it's like he doesn't really answer it. Girls Trip always comes to mind for me at BravoCon. Oh yeah,
Really?
air it. Of course. Why wouldn't we air it? I think we're going to air it. And it's like, it's a perfect out. Like, I think we will.
How
And you're
about
like,
this
yeah,
one?
and then you're going to conveniently use it as he's genius at it.
How about this one? Well, like all of us producers, all of us sat in a room alone and watched the finale of RHOA, and every single one of us said, the finale feels so final. It feels like a finale. Why would we have a reunion if all of us feel the same way? Really? Deflector tone. I hear you.
He's great at it. It's such a great strategy because it never makes Andy seem difficult. It makes Andy seem like the cool guy that, you can ask him anything. And he's so media trained. A lot of people are like that.
Listen, if I blew up, during our live show, no question was off limits. None. That's our rule. The next live show, no question is off limits. If someone wanted to interview me now that wasn't, if Kelly Ripa wants to interview me or Andy Cohen, or, if Wendy wants to come back and do a special with me, there is no question off limits. I'll show up and do. If, a podcaster that has, not a big following called me. Sometimes I'm inviting on podcasts to do interviews. There are certain things right now that I would say this is off limits. Very few, but it's very simple. That's how you do it. You're like, these are the off limit things.
Really?
Or,
I feel like you should just become Andy Cohen. Answer it all without an answer.
that's usually what I do.
That makes you just seem like you're above it all and you're
well, that's usually
too
what I
busy to
do.
care.
Well, that's usually what I do.
Okay, we only have time for one last thing. Do you want to do the question that unfortunately the fabulous listener to our live show couldn't ask?
Yes. No, I don't have it in front of me because I can't find it, but I have it memorized. I'm just looking. It's basically she wants to know, and you and I love this person. She's very nice. She wants to know, it's Jeff Lewis drama. She wants to know if we think Jeff Lewis, and I'm paraphrasing this, overreacted in his treatment of Sarah from Texas when he basically did not come to her defense when all of that drama went down.
Yeah. You want me to go first with my answer?
Yeah, I would love it.
And then you can try to look
This is a sample of what happens
wording.
on the live.